Hi everyone. If you own a dog, or your friend owns a dog, or you just know a dog, you may have wondered at some point in time, well, what does a dog really see? What does a dog see through their eyes? Today, I'm going to be answering that question. Does a dog see in black and white? Well, up until recently, that was the belief. However, it's not true. Dogs do actually have a dichromatic type of vision. They're very similar to what a red-green colorblind person might see. Dogs can only see in the blue, violet to yellow scale. So what that means is that comparatively, a dog can see colors such as a grayish brown, a dark yellow, light yellow, grayish yellow, light blue, and dark blue, respectively. Basically, they're all combinations of the same colors. In a recent study by Anna A. Kasparson, Jason Bedreeds, and Vadim V. Maximov, they seem to be able to tell the difference between objects based on the light to dark scale, so whether something is almost black or white and how bright it is, and the blue to yellow scale. So a seeing eye dog may not actually be able to tell its owner that it can cross the street based on what color the light is, but instead based on other things such as the position of the light on the stoplight or the noise around it. Dogs have to take multiple things into account. So, next up, I'm going to be answering the question of, well, how well do dogs see in the dark? And the answer to that is better than we do. Humans see best in bright light. Comparatively, dogs have a lot of different advantages over us. They're not quite as good as cats in seeing in the dark, but they're better than us. They have a larger pupil, so more light is allowed into their eyes. They also have more light-sensitive rods in their eyes, and the cones are better at detecting light. They have different compounds in their eyes that respond better to lower levels of light, and they have a thing in their eye called the tapetum. Well, the tapetum is what causes a dog's eyes to actually reflect light back at you in the dark, while their eyes glow in the dark. And it's actually a mirror in the back of their eye that allows them to see light a second time before it exits the eye. It basically gives the retina a second chance at being able to register light. However, there is a disadvantage to the tapetum, is that it refracts some of the light. So it actually takes their vision level down. And that takes us to our third point, that there is quite a few other smaller differences from our vision to theirs, such as the tapetum causes their eyes to go from about a 20/20 vision as we are supposed to have to most dogs have about a 20 to 75 vision, which means to see what we see at 20 feet away, they have to be about 75 feet, or what we see at 75 feet away, they have to be about 20 feet away to see. That's the same reason why they don't have as good a depth of vision as us. So a dog, if you're on the other side of the field, is not going to be able to tell you apart other than if you do a unique movement. However, they might be able to tell you based on smell or some other cue. Like your voice. If you were to call out to them, they would be able to tell you based on that. But they would not be able to tell who you are just based on looking at you across a field. They also see from a much lower vantage point than us, obviously, because they're much shorter. So everything that they see is mostly looking up, whereas we look straight out or down. And of course, we can look up at things too, but like our dog would have to look up to us to be able to, read cues from us and such. And then as I said, their visual acuity, which is 20/20 versus 20/75 vision, is much worse. So in conclusion, well, we aren't 100% sure of what their vision is like because we obviously aren't a dog and we can't, take their eyes and look through them. That is the best that we can tell. And we know now that no, dogs do not see in black and white, but they do actually see in color. It's a very faded version of our vision. And they use other senses to go through the world. Their hearing, their scent, even their taste. They use those much more strongly than we do because we rely very heavily on our eyesight. If you are curious at all about what it might look like, there are apps that you can download and get a sense. So I recommend you try that if you're curious. And thank you so much for listening.